Well, hello there. With 33 days to go before Kenyans go to the general elections, the Azimio One Kenya coalition presidential candidate Raila Odinga has threatened to boycott the polls if the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission will not settle for the manual register as a backup in case the electronic system fails. We have that plus many other stories right ahead. But first, let's have a look at the highlights. Tonight,
I have no interest whatsoever in any paper business, least ballot printing for any elections.
Ford Kenya party leader Moses Wetangula dismisses claims that he struck a deal with Greek company contracted to print ballot papers.
Manual register is a must at each and every polling station. This is not negotiable.
Also tonight, no election without the manual voter register. Raila Odinga now threatens to boycott elections if IEBC does not use a manual voter register as a backup. Also, government blocks public service vehicles from using the Nairobi Expressway. Kenya has set to install rumble strips on the road to curb accidents. Good evening once more and welcome to the broadcast. My name is Eric Munene. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Ann Wairimo. Our Ford Kenya party leader Moses Wetangula has dismissed claims that he is involved in the ballot paper printing deal with a Greek company. According to Wetangula, their opponents have sensed defeat and are now peddling lies to gain the sympathy from Kenyans. Boniface Baraza begins our bulletin with the controversy surrounding the ballot printing tender. Have a look.
Bungoma Senator Moses Wetangula, who is also Kenya Kwanza co-principal, has distanced himself from the allegations that he struck a deal with the Greek company contracted to print ballot papers ahead of the August polls.
I want to make it very clear that I have no interest whatsoever in any paper business, least ballot printing for any elections. I do not trade in paper. I do not trade in printing. I am a full-time politician and lawyer.
Wetangula said that this is a tactic aimed at maligning him and tarnishing his reputation following their decision to divorce with the former political marriage.
That this kind of hate campaign by people we have had a strong political relationship with and then divorced are the same fellows who are trying to track and create despondency against people who they want to work with but who can't work with. The truth is that they are not able to get anybody to replace the space left by Musalia and myself.
The allegations were made by Azimio One leaders who claim they have written to IEBC on the sensitive matter.
Hiyo mambo ni mambo si? Serious. Na mnajua, mimi najua Wetangula atakanusha. Lakini mjue zile skando zote Wetangula amekuwa, hakuna hata moja amekubali. Unajua mimi nilisikia jana jamaa mmoja akiongea, anasema ati Wetangula anajisifu kwamba yeye na Chebukati ni cousins, wanatoka nyumba moja na watapanga mpango mmoja. Jaribu kupanga uone, my friend.
Wetangula urged voters in the county to support Deputy President William Ruto's bid to become the 5th president and called on President Uhuru Kenyatta and his handshake partner Raila Odinga to retire together on August 9.
Tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8, Rais Uhuru Kenyatta afunge virago, astaafu, aende nyumbani, na sisi kama serikali tutamupa heshima yake, tutamlinda. Na Raila naye afunge virago, aende Bondo, akae huko, atapata pension yake kama former prime minister.
Sisi ni Kenya Kwanza. Mheshimiwa Musalia Mudavadi pamoja na party leader Weta walienda wakakaa pamoja na wakasema tutembee na William Samoei Ruto.
Kenya Kwanza ni nyumba ya watu wote. Tunawarai watu wa Bwai, tunawarai kina baba zetu na mama zetu. Pale juu tunaomba mumpe William Samoei Ruto.
Vijana wetu watapata kazi kwa Kenya Kwanza. Kwa hivyo hakuenda tu kwenda namna hii.
This comes barely 33 days before the August 9 election.
With Wetangula being at the center of the ballot papers controversy, he has termed the move by his former political accomplices as last kicks of a dying horse. Boniface Barasa, TV47, Trans Nzoia County.
Well, thank you, Boniface Barasa, for that. Rhodes Party presidential candidate Professor George Wajackoyah has refuted claims that he is a government's project. Now, speaking during his tour of Murang'a County, Wajackoyah rubbished the claims, saying that nothing will stop him from vying for the seat in the August election. Muthoni Maina has more.
Roots presidential candidate Professor George Wajackoyah climbed the mountain today, leaving nothing to chance as he dismissed claims that he is a government project, citing that his opponents and their supporters have started getting cold feet after seeing him pull large masses.
Bangi oye! Bangi! Sasa watu wale wengine wameanza kuwa na wasiwasi. Raila ni project ya serikali, Ruto ni project mwenyewe, mimi ni project ya binadamu wananchi. Mbona wananidunda hivi?
Wajackoyah singled out leaders affiliated to UDA presidential candidate William Ruto, who claims that he is out to tap the youth vote, as a majority have been supporting his presidential bid.
Wale wameanza kusema kina Kangata hapa, wapi Kangata? Kangata ameanza kusema hata ma project shindwe. Kangata shindwe.
Nonetheless, there is a lawyer who has written to the British High Commission claiming that Wajackoyah is not a Kenyan citizen, terming it as a ploy to block his presidential bid.
Lawyer twingine tumbafu kabisa. Kuna lawyers, advocates very stupid. I'm an advocate, I'm saying it. Kuna mmoja ameandikia British High Commission kumwambia kwamba I am a British citizen. Let me tell that stupid lawyer today. Sijabadilisha nia yangu ya kuwa Mkenya. Mimi ni Mkenya halisi.
Speaking in Murang'a County, Wajackoyah unpacked his bag of goodies to the people, reiterating his 10-point agenda dubbed the 10 Commandments, saying that his administration will run a grant-free government, hanging anybody that embezzles public funds.
Nataka Rais Uhuru Kenyatta kuanzia leo akinisikiza, manake mimi ndio nitachukua hiyo serikali tarehe 9. Ajue ya kwamba mimi kibinafsi nampenda Uhuru kibinafsi, lakini ile kitu nataka tuelezee ni nani alimortgage port ya Mombasa, na kama haja mortgage ni kitu gani walimortgage kule China.
He also sought to defend his agenda of promoting bang, terming it as the only way to liberate the Kenyan economy and pay off the high debt ceiling loan that is crippling the country. Muthoni Maina, TV47.
Azimio One Kenya running mate Martha Karua has pledged to advocate for the plight of teachers and doctors in the country, saying that their government will embrace a roundtable policy to address matters affecting communities, civil servants and unions, among other sectors in the country. Now, Karua spoke when she met teachers and doctors unions before joining her party leader Raila Odinga in a campaign trail in Kiambu County. Micah Gongo with more.
While addressing teachers and doctors unions drawn from 9 counties from Mount Kenya region in Kiambu County Wednesday, Karua said the Azimio team is ready to transform the country, accusing their competitors of funding corruption.
Teachers are the ones who teach children discipline. You are therefore, you bear responsibility in how disciplined our nation will be. We must reinforce it.
Following the debts accrued by the government, Karua hinted that Azimio la Umoja government will renegotiate with lenders to review terms that will see the country's ability to grow and repay the loans simultaneously.
And we are at liberty to negotiate with our lenders to restructure. We cannot just be paying debts. We have to pay debts and continue to progress. So a combined effort a multi-pronged approach to get us where we are going.
KUPPET Secretary General Akello Misori and his NAT counterpart Collins Oyuu urged teachers and doctors to vote for Azimio presidential candidate in the August polls, saying the coalition has the best manifesto that addresses issues of education and plight of the teachers.
We are aware that you people have shown that you have zero tolerance to corruption.
We must campaign for Baba Namata without hiding anywhere. I want to say this on behalf of Kenya National Union of Teachers, because in our setup, when the Secretary General speaks, teachers have spoken.
This comes few days after William Ruto of Kenya Kwanza and former NAT Secretary General Wilson Sossion signed another charter with another group of teachers in a bid to consolidate votes of teaching fraternity.
Later on, Karua joined her party leader Raila Odinga in Kiambu County, drumming up support for Raila's bid to occupy the house on the hill.
Ukumbuke ulifurahia ile wakati alisema Kibaki tosha. Basi si mwingine ni yule. Ulifurahia waliposalimiana na Uhuru, nchi ikatulia.
Karua implored Kiambu County residents to give the coalition a chance to serve them so as they could better their lives. Speaking in Gatondo, Kiambu County, Odinga reaffirmed his stance that manual voter registers must be used at the August polls.
Hiyo ndio sababu bwana Chebukati anakataa atisitumie ile manual register. Sasa mimi nataka kutangaza hapa Githunguri. Manake najua manual register kitumika itajulikana watu wangapi ambao walipiga kura katika kituo hiki. Na vizuri. Ile ya electronic ni hakuna rekodi ambayo inabaki hapo.
Odinga maintains that they won't compromise on their demand for the commission to provide manual registers as a complementary method of voter identification should the electronic kits fail on polling day.
You're telling the IEBC they must have a manual register along with biometric identification of the voters on that polling day. Kabla hivyo hakuna uchaguzi.
IEBC, however, had planned not to use printed registers on polling day, saying they would create an avenue for electoral malpractices. The commission indicated that it would only resort to manual register as the last option in case of a technology breakdown. Mike Kagwongo, TV47, Nairobi.
Thank you, Mike Kagwongo, for that. Now, Deputy President William Ruto has criticized his political arch-rival Raila Odinga for what he termed as interfering with the IEBC's mandate. According to Ruto, Odinga has sensed defeat in the August polls. And Rinkilemi reports.
As the clock ticks towards the August 9 general election, the Kenya Kwanza campaign brigade continues to rally different parts of the country in the hunt for votes. Speaking in Marsabit County Wednesday, Kenya Kwanza presidential candidate William Ruto hit out at his Azimio One Kenya political nemesis Raila Odinga for what he termed as dictatorship.
Ile nataka niulize watu wa kuzimia ni kwamba wajipange twende kwa uchaguzi. Wananchi wa Kenya waamue na wasianze kutuletea vitisho, wasianze propaganda, wasianze kujipanga wakatae tena hii uchaguzi wa tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8 kwa sababu wanataka kung'oa reli na kujiapisha tena.
Ruto said Odinga was sensing defeat in the August polls and that his accusations at the Election Commission are aimed to interfere with the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission mandate.
Sisi hatuna haja na nani anachapisha ile kura. Sisi hatuna haja nani anasimamia ile kura. Sisi tuko na haja na wapigaji kura. Kwa hivyo tunamwambia mzee wa kitendawili, tafadhali wacha kuanza propaganda. Ati sijui kura sijui imetoka wapi, ati sijui ballot paper imetoka wapi. Mimi nataka niulize IEBC wapeleke huyu mtu wa kitendawili aone mahali kura zinachapishwa. Wampatie ile kazi yote anafanya hata akitaka ndugu yake asimamie makura wampatie hiyo nafasi, lakini bora uchaguzi iwe tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8 na wananchi wa Kenya wapatiwe nafasi ya kupiga hiyo kura, kwa sababu wananchi wameamua. Kitendawili anaenda nyumbani asubuhi na mapema.
While at it, the Deputy President promised to beef up security in the vast Mandera County should Kenya Kwanza assume office in the general election, further criticizing Interior CS Fred Matiang'i for allegedly neglecting the safety of the people of Marsabit.
Wale ambao walipatiwa nafasi ya kusimamia mambo ya usalama wamezembea kazini. Badala ya kusimamia usalama wameenda kuwa vibaraka wa siasa. Na kwa sababu ya kupoteza muda wao mrefu wakifanya mambo ya siasa, mambo ya usalama imekwama. Alafu wanakuja kusumbua wananchi na mambo ya curfew. Mimi nataka niwaambie, hakuna haja ya curfew. Tunataka askari wawe wa kutosha kusimamia usalama, ndio kila mwananchi atembee na afanye biashara vile anavyopenda.
Meanwhile, Kenya Kwanza's running mate Rigathi Gachagua took his campaigns to Laikipia County to rally residents to support the coalition's bid, urging Kenyans to elect leaders with clear agenda.
Nimekuwa pale Matweku, mama moja akaniambia bei ya sabuni ati iko kali kuliko hata karai. Wewe mama. Ati na uomo tu wena kwa kinyauke sufuria. Sasa unashika utakula sufuria ama utanunua unga?
Gachagua is Thursday set to campaign in Laikipia East constituency, while DP Ruto is expected to continue with his northeastern tour. Andrin Kilemi, TV47.
Now tonight, the Kenya Kwanza Alliance has revealed plans to form a state capture commission if Deputy President William Ruto wins the general election as a first step to fighting state-sanctioned graft. Kenya Kwanza's team behind the manifesto launched by Ruto on Thursday last week said the move is a crucial step to institutionalize the war on graft unlike under the current regime. The commission will, among other things, investigate the president, as our senior political affairs reporter Polo Kamau reports.
Kenya Kwanza technical team behind the Alliance manifesto, unveiled on Thursday last week, stepped up their offensive against Azimio's Raila Odinga that the coalition is not committed to fighting graft. The group, led by economist Dr. Devin D., unveiling the corruption plan behind the manifesto to be executed within 30 days in a radical proposal. Key among them, formation of an independent state capture commission, a quasi-judicial public inquiry mandated to fight state-sanctioned graft.
The state capture inquiry is saying that our state has been privatized. So you are not going to do this if the people who have privatized the state are still in the state. I know, for example, that there are some people, influential people, who have been wanting to put up a brewery in Naivasha together with some foreign brands. And I cannot help asking, is Keroshe's troubles with the tax authorities to do with predation?
Though the move has raised concerns among President Uhuru Kenyatta's allies, the team says the commission is part of the alliance shift in the fight against corruption, empowering institutions to take over the war on graft, unlike the current case that has seen Deputy President William Ruto and his allies accuse President Kenyatta of personalizing the war on graft.
We have had scenario where persons that have been alleged or integrity questions have been raised about, they only need to go and shake a hand in some laundry, and after that handshake, oh, voila, they are cleansed.
The Commission's mandate is likely to spread its investigations to state institutions and a few powerful Kenyan families claimed to have taken over the Kenya economy while influencing key state decisions, a plan mirrored alongside South Africa's Zondo Commission of Inquiry into allegations of state capture by the Gupta family with close links to former President Jacob Zuma.
Please stop asking the president to fight corruption. It is the president who can do the most corruption in the country, given our current structure. We need a system that can investigate the president.
Apul Kamau, TV47.
Now, exactly 33 days to the August 9th general election, majority of Nairobi residents do not know whom to vote for in the August polls. That is according to the latest polls by InfoTrack research firm. According to the research firm, 1 million of the 2 million registered voters in the city are undecided on who they want to vote for. Chepto Boit with more.
The latest opinion polls by research firm InfoTrack indicate that a big number of Nairobians are undecided on who to vote for in the August 9th election, exactly 33 days to the polls. The pollstar indicates that Azimio One presidential candidate is the most preferred candidate in Nairobi County with a popularity rate of 42%, with 15% of Nairobians undecided on who to vote for as president, assuming all 2,400,000 registered voters in Nairobi County by IEBC head to the ballot. 362,000 voters do not know who they want as the president.
And InfoTrack decided on a self-funded poll to interview Nairobians, and the total number of people that we sampled, 1,024 across the 17 constituencies.
In the gubernatorial race, Nairobi Senator Johnson Sakaja leads with 39%, followed by Polycarp Igathe with 33%. This leaves over 500,000 Nairobians in the dark, not knowing who to vote for as governor. The senatorial seat has attracted the highest number of undecided Nairobians, a total of 44%, an equivalent of over 1 million do not know who to elect as a senator in the city.
If you go to the grassroots, you'll see an MCA mounting, individual candidate campaign, MPs doing the same, but it might be a bit shaky for senatorial. They may be relying on the political party. When their political parties have rallies within the county, that's when they're also seen, or that's when they get opportunity to talk to their electorates.
The woman representative position has attracted the second highest percentage of undecided voters with 33%, an equivalent of almost 800,000 voters. However, incumbent woman representative Esther Passaris boasts of more popularity of 46%. Azimio One Kenya Alliance and ODM party enjoys a popularity of 48% and 51% respectively.
Barely a month before the August 9th election, opinion polls now indicate that a big chunk of residents within Nairobi County believe that the country is being steered towards the wrong direction, citing reasons such as insecurity, access to clean water, and the high cost of living, which the country has attributed to the Russia-Ukraine war. Chepto Boit, TV47, Nairobi.
A huge number there, but of course not a majority. Now, independent presidential candidates have accused the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission of discrimination, saying that the requirement by the electoral body, to have them produce signatures by their supporters was deliberately designed to ensure that they are locked out of the race. Paul Kirabu with more.
Of the High Court of Kenya for giving us justice to all independent candidates today.
This is your certificate. Independent presidential candidates have accused the Wafula Chebukati-led commission of discriminating against them, terming a requirement to have them present copies of ideas unconstitutional and uncalled for.
Up to this day, he has never picked my signatures as well as the ID copies that he required. I know a lot of presidential aspirants never actually collected the signatures.
Our electoral systems have qualified candidates who have cases in courts because of corruption. People who have rooted this country. People who do not have interest of Kenyans at heart, but they have their own selfish interest.
IEBC needs to comply with the court orders. The court declared that the sections of the law that were used to clear the 4 presidential candidates that are currently campaigning was unconstitutional, invalid, null and void. So IEBC needs to conduct fresh presidential nominations.
Now, with 33 days to go to the next general election, it may be too little too late for the independent presidential candidates to feature on the ballot papers after High Court Judge Anthony Mrima termed as unconstitutional a decision by IEBC to use the copies of identity cards as a requirement. Constitutional lawyer Gerald Kitty says if IEBC appeals the decision, the appellate may rule in its favor to facilitate smooth elections.
We can only reverse the judgment of the High Court because we're already at an advanced stage, and it's also constitutional that the elections must happen at a particular time. So it's a balance between two provisions of the Constitution. The Constitution must happen at this time, but again also this is an unconstitutional. So in light of that, and in light of the fact that already regulations were there and systems had already moved, then maybe the IEBC should just proceed, but these guys will be considered for the next cycle.
IEBC has already started printing the ballot papers, and Kitty says if the appellate court backs the High Court decision, this may disrupt the election process.
The Court of Appeal will only aid the IEBC in terms of administration, because it can be a nightmare. Let's face it, it can be a nightmare for IEBC at this juncture to invite independent candidates after it has already set up programs to already print, and they've already come up with budgets on who will be on the ballot, and then all of a sudden opening that Pandora's box for now all independent candidates to come in. It might be a bit of a hassle logistically and administratively.
The ruling by Justice Mrima means that any independent candidate can petition IEBC to have their name included in the ballot as an aspirant for any position. According to the judge, IEBC was in breach of the Data Protection Act, as aspirants are not authorized by law to collect data. The ruling was on 4 consolidated petitions filed by 17 independent candidates and Free Kenya Initiative in April. They sued the Independent Electoral and Boundary Commission IEBC, Office of the Registrar of Political Parties, National Assembly, Senate and the Attorney General. Paul Kirobi, TV47, Nairobi.
Now, the government has temporarily restricted public service vehicles from using the Nairobi Expressway following recent accidents witnessed on the Nairobi Expressway. And as William Moige reports, the government has set the speed limit at 110 kilometers per hour, with Kenya now set to install rumble strips on the 27-kilometer road.
Wednesday morning, a 33-seater minibus belonging to Super Metro heading to the Nairobi Central Business District overturned at the entrance of Nairobi Expressway, Westlands Toll. The Wednesday incident is not an isolated case witnessed along the recently launched 27-kilometer-long 4-lane carriageway built along Wajackoyah, Uhuru Highway and Mombasa Road, as 2 other incidents were witnessed in less than 2 weeks. The Ministry of Transport has now stipulated measures to curb the rising cases of accidents. 1. There will be installation of rumble strip bumps to warn drivers to slow down as they approach various toll gates. 2. Enforcement of speed limits, where further traffic police officers will henceforth be stationed at various locations along the expressway, including toll stations. Also, commercial passenger vehicles with a capacity of more than 7 passengers will temporarily not access the highway.
Not a good directive, because we have people who have big buses, like tourist buses, and they just want to save on their time, like going to Mombasa. If I'm going to Mombasa and I use this road, I'll use like 25 minutes to be in the river. So if that is stopped, then it means it's like the road is actually for a few people. It's an exclusive club, which should not actually be the case. Other road users should also use this road and should also enjoy the benefit of this road.
On the 4th of July and 25th of June, 2 accidents were witnessed at the Mlolongo toll station. The 4th of July, at around 7 p.m., a minibus belonging to the Embasava Sacco knocked a toll booth and other vehicles, where a toll attendant and more than 20 people sustained injuries. And on the 25th of June, at the same toll station, 1 person lost his life after a speeding motorist hit a toll and other vehicles at the exit. A number of motorists who use the express highway noted that the road was time-saving and efficient, albeit cautioned over speeding is an impending crisis if not addressed.
I've seen when I use it, even there are some cars that pass you, it's like you're almost even just stagnant, because there are some people, especially these big cars, some people who are actually using it now to speed it up completely. Guys are doing 200, almost 2 something kilometers per hour. So maybe they would do something like speed guns. Once you come out of the Nani, there are guys, maybe there are some people waiting for you there. Because the expressway can't have bumps, unless at the exits or at the entrance. But it beats the whole purpose of putting bumps in expressway, because it will form jam and stuff.
In a letter signed by Cabinet Secretary for Roads James Macharia, any person who contravenes with any provision of Section 42 of the Traffic Act shall be guilty after an offence and liable to a fine of up to 100,000 Kenya shillings. Moige William, TV47.
Well, thank you, Moige William, for that. Now, as the government plans to ensure that that road is safe for usage by the public, TV47 went a step further to try and get what really is the problem. As you can see right there on the other half of the screen, those are live pictures at the Nairobi Expressway. This is the museum toll station. Our reporter Moige William is currently there. They were trying to get something, at least the life situation as things are right now. But as you can see, it's all calm and nothing really is happening. Unfortunately, officials have denied them to go beyond that point that you can see right there on your screen. Our attempts to contact them to at least have a live statement from the scene have also proved futile. So we are going to keep trying. Try and understand what really happens, as the government also does its part in ensuring that that road is safe for public use. Remember, those are live pictures on the other half of your screen. Our reporter Moige William was hoping to at least have a word or two with the officials manning that toll station. That is the Museum Hill toll station. Time now for a very short break at 30 minutes past the hour. Don't go away. We'll be back with more.
You are watching TV47, the home.
Despite being visually impaired, he is a jack of all trades.
It is our quest to find answers on how to take care of children with special needs and those with disability. You do not need to see musical notes to understand music, but rather to have your soul feel the vibe.
Actually, for us to make a wheelchair, we have to take measurements of the user.
After doing my assessment, I get to know the parent, I get to know the heaviness she's carrying.
Disability comes at different stages of life.
Well, do you know what's happening around you? Morning Cafe with heated political debates. Baraza la Siasa.
Hiyo kitu azungumzie, angalie hali ya maisha ya watu.
Informative health discussions. Business, farming. Tasty Wednesday, Fitness Thursday, and Feel Good Friday with amazing DJs, celebs,
waimbaji, kuna comedians, alafu kuna wajinga,
and music bands every Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. The next set of millionaires are farmers, as we know agriculture has been and still is the backbone of our economy. As we traverse the different counties to meet different farmers, we ensure to get the story of how they started farming, and even how they continue to penetrate the market and overcome the challenges.
Hapa, the reason why nilieka goose na si ducks. Goose, they are very easy to maintain.
A lot of farmers keep on calling, inquiring whether you're supposed to raise.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Now, the Mombasa gubernatorial race continues to nick into high gear. This as candidates scramble for votes. 6 candidates will be battling it for the seat in a bid to replace Hassan Joho as the county boss, I beg your pardon. Our coast-based reporter Patronila Goren dissects through the Mombasa gubernatorial race. Have a look.
Mombasa County, or as it is well famously known as County 001, boasts for being the heart of the tourism sector owing to its mixed historical culture and sandy beaches, leading to it ranking as a city after Nairobi. Mombasa economy also relies on the port of Mombasa and the blue economy. As the election beacons, Mombasa County residents find themselves in quite the dilemma, knowing not whom to elect as their next governor. The race has tightened even more as aspirants scramble for the 640,904 votes, with rhetoric and promises of a better economy and services to the people. At the moment, 7 candidates are battling it out for the top Mombasa seat, including UDS party Hassan Omar Sarai, ODM's Abdul Swamad Sharif Nasir, Mombasa Deputy Governor Dr. William Kazungu Kingi of the Power Party, Shafi Makazi of the Upia Party, Ezra Nawiti of the VDP Party, Said Abdallah of the Usawa kwa Wote, and independent candidate Daniel Munga. Mombasa County has been under the steership of Hassan Ali Joho for a decade now, since the inception of the 2010 constitution that brought forth devolution in the country. With 6 constituencies and approximately 700,000 voters, Kisauni constituency is leading with 135,267, followed by Nyali, Mvita, Likoni, Changamwe and Jovu consecutively. Voting in Mombasa has through history been based on political parties, and the strongest party took lead. However, according to residents, this norm is slowly changing.
Kama ni kuchagua kwa sasa, ni tuchague mtu tukiangalia misingi yake, vile ambavyo anaahidi manifesto yake.
Mombasa is very corrupt. So kama unaweza kuchange your corruption, inaweza kupatia watu jobs.
Among challenges facing the residents in Mombasa County are the drowning economy, unemployment, the waste management problem in the city, drug and substance abuse, and lack of clean water.
Nionyesheni kwa mkono!
Challenges that former Mombasa Senator Hassan Omar Sarai promises to tackle and restore Mombasa's economic status.
Tunataka kuleta serikali ambayo ni accountable and democratic katika mashinani. Tunataka kuimarisha hali za kimaisha ya watu in terms of social justice na economic and social rights, kuimarisha huduma za afya, kuimarisha masuala ya mazingira, masuala ya maji.
Mvita Member of Parliament Abdul Swamad Sharif Nasir, who has held the seat for 10 years and is now eyeing the gubernatorial seat in Mombasa, promises fast to boost the economy of Mombasa.
Ya kwanza na ndio muhimu zaidi ni uchumi. Jinsi tumeonyesha njia na jinsi ya kuweza kuboresha uchumi wetu. Na nataka tena kusisitiza hiyo ndio muhimu sana.
Similarly, the Mombasa Deputy Governor Dr. William Kingi says he is ready to steer the Indian Ocean city to safer waters.
Ukiangalia mambo ya elimu, kwa mfano, asilimia 60 ya watoto wetu ambao wanaingia shule ya msingi hawaendi shule ya upili.
But what about the scarcity of water in the county?
Katika manifesto zetu na agenda zetu kuna na mambo haya drainage that are there, and jinsi ya kuweza kuifanya Mombasa iende sambamba na teknolojia katika dunia.
Kuna haya mabao ambayo tunataka yamalizike ya national government ambapo sisi tutaweka mtandao a network ya piping katika Mombasa nzima ili watu waweze kupata maji safi katika majumba yao. La tatu, katika hapo basala ya maji tutaweza kuweka ile teknolojia ya desalination ambayo pia itatupa kawi, ambapo tutasafisha maji ya bahari. Upande mmoja tutapata maji, upande mmoja tutapata kawi kupitia ile steam.
One of the hottest contested topics in Mombasa political field is the alleged transfer of port services from Mombasa port to Naivasha and Nairobi dry ports.
We have to get back the port services back. It is not even about port services back. We are now saying that we're demanding a stake in the port. But other than that as well, we have to open the special economic zones. These are going to be a game changer in terms of employment of our youth.
Ni kuhakikisha kwamba sisi tumerudisha bandari yetu, na hiyo ndio utetezi mkubwa ambao tunataka kufanya. Bila ya condition, bila ya hatua nusu, bandari huduma zote zirudi hapa.
Shafi Makazi, a newcomer in the political arena, says he will create employment through the agricultural sector.
Vijana hawawezi kupata ajira. Swala la takataka nilishughulikiwa kutoka ward level. Litashughulikiwa namna gani? We have a lot of stakeholders in Mombasa. Wanatafuta pesa tu hapo wakienda. We have transporters in Mombasa.
Ufisadi ndio kiini cha matatizo yote, hususan hapa katika kaunti ya Mombasa. Watu kupewa huduma mpaka alipe.
The two horses of the race also claim to have deep-seated roots in the county, while Kenya Kwanza claims to have won Mombasa resident hearts. Nasir, on the other hand, says
wishful thinking is good. I wish them luck.
And is the Mvita MP the people's project as he claims, or as others suspect the governor's project?
Jibikaji ya huduma ama ugavana wao kwa miaka 10. Kwa hiyo wanataka mtu ambaye ataweza kuwahifadhi katika maslahi yao na katika biashara zao, na wakamwangalia ndugu yetu
mradi wa watu. Haikuanza jana wala juzi hiyo watu walijaribu kuitia lugha hiyo na sumu hiyo kitambo, kisha watu wenyewe wakasema kwa huu ni mradi wetu. Kwa hivyo mimi ni Abdulsomad Sharif Nasir, mtoto wa Mombasa.
Lurking in the shadows of the race is former Nairobi Governor Mike Mbuvi Sonko, who shook waves when he arrived in Mombasa after declaring interest in the gubernatorial seat. Should the courts grant him the green light, then Mombasa County politics will truly take a new turn. Maimuna Mwidawa, political analyst, says the voting pattern of Mombasa has changed from party-based to individual-based, and hence it might put Sonko in the lead.
Kwa hiyo Sonko alipokuja alileta ule mfano na akawapa watu hope ambayo ilikufa wakati wa Shahbal. Sasa hope kubwa iliyokuja ni Sonko. Sasa wananchi wenyewe ndio wanajua kwa nini wanataka kubadilisha. Kwa vile walivyomkaribisha ni wazi kabisa kwamba mabadiliko lazima yatoke Mombasa.
A majority of the candidates eyeing the gubernatorial seat have selected their running mates from the Mijikenda community, which has the majority of residents in the county, hinting at the historical taste of Kenya's political pattern and a hope of garnering the most votes for any candidate. As the gubernatorial aspirants continue to voters, only the August 9th general election will tell who will succeed the current Governor Hassan Ali Joho, who has served for 2 terms. Petronila Goren for TV47 in Mombasa County.
Well, thank you, Petronila Goren, for that. Now, detectives from the Directorate of Criminal Investigations have recovered a firearm that was allegedly stolen from a police officer 3 years ago and has been used to terrorize Nairobi city residents. DCI says at least 30 M-Pesa shops have been invaded and the thugs who have been using the gun to commit the crimes made away with at least 10 million Kenya shillings, as Mwangi Maina tells us.
The Directorate of Criminal Investigations has detailed the genesis of a firearm that has for 3 years been used to terrorize city residents. The firearm, a Jericho pistol, was snatched from a stupefied police officer in the Parklands area on June 20th, 2019. On the day the firearm went missing, a report was filed at Parklands police station that an unconscious male person was spotted lying motionless at Mitama Road in High Ridge area. Police officers who rushed to the scene identified the man as a fellow police officer based at the Reruta police station and was earlier deployed at Parklands police station. The officer had fallen victim to the infamous gang of women christened as Mchele gangs, whose work is to stupefy revelers at popular city clubs before robbing them. The officer, who was admitted to a Nairobi hospital in critical condition, was unlucky to lose his firearm, a Jericho pistol serial number KEKP44 330654. The gun would later find its way into the hands of criminal gangs who used it to perpetrate criminal activities within Nairobi. Detectives have so far linked the gang to robberies committed in Kasarani, Makadara, Kayole, Kamukonji, Dandora, Buruburu, Ruai, Kikuyu, Embakasi and Karatina. 28 robberies were perpetrated through the use of the firearm. The detectives have since gathered that the firearm was later hired to gangs in Kayole, who have since terrorized more than 30 M-Pesa shops and made away with more than 10 million Kenya shillings. With 3 thugs fatally wounded and the firearm recovered, the Directorate of Criminal Investigations has regretted the lives lost through the gun and condoled with all those who have borne the brunt of the criminals' acts, including police officers who have not been spared by the miscreants. Mwangi Maina, TV47, Nairobi.
Now, the national government has extended curfew in Baringo, Elgeyo Marakwet and West Pokot counties for another 30 days. The directive was announced by Rift Valley Regional Commissioner Mali Mohammed, who says the extension will ensure peace is restored in the 3 counties.
A somber mood engulfed Elgeyo Marakwet County.
For months now, peace has been elusive in Baringo, Elgeyo Marakwet and West Pokot counties as bandits attacked, taking away lives and stealing livestock. For residents in these counties, their lives changed as many fled their homes and sought refuge in police stations and schools. Learning was disrupted and some schools were closed indefinitely. The status quo in the 3 counties resulted to a dusk to dawn curfew, a decision that was imposed by the national government in an effort to try restore peace and stability. And now the curfew has been extended by another 30 days.
Na hiyo amri ya kutotoka ya siku 30 unafikia kikomo leo. Na kwa sababu tumeona matunda ya hiyo dusk to dawn curfew, tumeweza kupata silaha kwa wingi, mambo ya amani umeshuhudiwa, kuna hali ya utulivu. Nataka nitangaze ya kuwa hiyo mambo ya kutotoka nje tutakuwa tumeongezea siku 30 zaidi. We are going to extend the dusk to dawn curfew by another 30 days effective tomorrow.
The government says some of the criminals have fled to neighboring counties.
Kwa sababu tumeona hao wahalifu wameanza kutorokea sehemu zingine kama sehemu za Turkana kusini, Turkana mashariki na pia katika sehemu za Pokot kaskazini.
The government has assured residents of Baringo, Elgeyo Marakwet and West Pokot counties of security ahead of the August polls. Sharon Baranga, TV47.
Now, 2 people have died after forest guards allegedly opened fire at them, while 3 others are nursing gunshot wounds at Iten Referral Hospital. It is alleged that the forest guards failed to release their livestock, prompting a confrontation. Chichi Josephine with more.
A somber mood engulfed Elgeyo Marakwet County as the family of 21-year-old Elvis Kiprop tries to come to terms with the killing of their innocent son, who was shot dead by the forest guard.
Nasikia uchungu kwa undani kwa sababu mtoto wangu aliuliwa bila hatia. Sasa nasikia uchungu sana, hata sina uwezo wa kuongea. Nataka tu serikali watende haki, nipate kupata haki ya mtoto wangu.
At the Elgeyo Forest Station, the carcass of the sheep were lying as the entire officers of the station have been transferred. KFS commander in the North Rift region, Kennedy Ndalinya, has termed the incident as unfortunate, urging residents to remain calm.
Mimi tu ni kusema pole kwa familia na naomba ya kwamba tukae na wananchi vizuri, tufanye kazi vizuri. Hiyo issue ya risasi nafikiri DCI amechukua na inashughulikiwa.
Elgeyo Marakwet Deputy Governor Wesley Rotich has condemned the incident, at the same time calling on relevant authorities to investigate the matter.
We are really sad as a community and we demand justice. We demand that the Chief Conservator of Forests and his entire team, the DCI and the police, make sure that they investigate and ensure that this matter is brought to proper conclusion by ensuring that the culprits are brought to book. And we also demand that the entire KFS arrangement in Elgeyo Marakwet County is actually overhauled and brought, and officers who are well trained brought here.
The bodies of the deceased have been moved to Iten mortuary as the injured continue to receive treatment at the Iten and Kapsowar hospitals.
Nilikuwa naenda Nyaze, kufika kwa njia nikasikia nduru huko ofisi, nikasema hii nini naendelea ofisi, nikakimbia kufika kwa gate, nikaona watu wengi wanapiga nduru wakirusharusha mawe kidogo hivi. Kuangalia na TV risasi tika nishika kwa mkono. Kabla sijafika ndani huko. Hata sijajua nini inaendelea kwa ndani.
Chichi Josephine, TV47.
Now, Mount Kenya University, in collaboration with TV47, has today signed a memorandum of understanding with the National Council of NGOs that will focus on business matters and economic growth in the country. Now, speaking during the signing of the MOU at Mount Kenya University Vice Chancellor Deogratius Jaganyi, chairperson of the National Council of NGOs Samuel Githinji, together with TV47's Chief Executive Officer Abubakar Abdullahi, they have agreed to cooperate in matters concerning business. The MOU will also enhance provision of the much-needed publicity among over 12,000 non-governmental organizations that will be included in the memorandum.
But now we have the mother of all the NGOs, so which means that we have got the avenue to any NGO that we want. They're going to be collaborating with CBOs, which are about 40,000. And that also gives us an opportunity for issues of internship for our students. So, you know, it is an avenue for us to be able to fulfill part of our mandate, not only on research, but also part of our community engagement. We have, as you know, that MKU, we are very strong in business of corporate social responsibility.
The MOU is to make sure that whatever little I have, whatever little that he has, whatever the TV, then we benefit out of it, all of us. That is actually the biggest concept and the main purpose for the MOU, because we need it to become one and benefit out of the other.
The benefits of these to TV47 are in the sense that we are getting into a network that has a pool of intellectuals from the academy here at MKU, and also a pool of network from the National Council of NGOs. So as a media house that is strategically positioning itself as a media house of solutions and development, I think we will be providing the much needed publicity to this initiative that the institutions that have signed this partnership will be undertaking.
Moving on, 3 people have died and 10 others have sustained injuries in a dawn crash involving a 14-seater matatu at Kidhini area along the Machakos-Kiumbi highway. Elizabeth Atieno with more.
This is all that is left of this 14-seater matatu that was headed to Machakos from Kiumbi town on Wednesday morning. This flat tire, a wheel spotted a few meters from the wrecked vehicle, and this supposed windscreen crashed into small glass particles paints the grim picture of the 9 a.m. accident that has since claimed the lives of 3.
Nilikuwa kama around 10 vehicles behind. And then as I approached the bridge, I found a Nissan had rolled. And as we arrived, we found bodies strewn on the ground. The Nissan rolled and the bodies were thrown all over.
According to eyewitnesses, the driver of the vehicle was speeding before it experienced a mechanical breakdown around Makutano area where he lost control of the vehicle.
Toka Machakos, tukiwa kwa gari ya Maruti. Wakati tumefika hapa, hiyo Nissan ilikuwa inatoka na side ya Makutano. Ikachomoka mguu. So when the driver alikuwa anajaribu kuicontrol, ndio amekanyaga, I think ni brake amekanyanga ikalol. So kutoka hapo sisi tulikuwa kwa maruti, then ndio tumetokeza tukaona venye imeumiza watu.
The vehicle rolled from the bridge onto the left side of the road. So it is not easy to know what caused the vehicle to roll. Might be the police will be able to tell, but that is what happened.
The 13 patients were severely injured and continue to receive treatment at the Machakos Level 5 hospital.
We got 2 ambulances, and also we used 2 private vehicles and my official vehicle. We evacuated 13 of the passengers who were seriously injured, and they were all evacuated to Level 5.
The vehicle, which belongs to Namak Sacco, has been towed to Machakos Police Station pending investigations, while bodies of the dead were taken to Machakos Level 5 Hospital morgue. Elizabeth Atieno, TV47.
Let's cross over now to the world of sports. The Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, has withdrawn the case of former Football Kenya Federation President Nick Mwendwa in accordance with Section 87 of the Penal Code. Now, Mwendwa was arrested in November last year before he was released and rearrested on charges of fraud. He has been out on a cash bail of 10 million shillings bond, and according to the charge sheet, between April 16th and May 31st, 2021, he conspired to defraud the Football Kenya Federation, FKF, 29 million shillings before the Sports Cabinet Secretary Amina Mohamed appointed a caretaker committee to run the affairs of football in the country.